Tony. Governor Rick Scott signing an executive order declaring a state of emergency in Lee County following the heavy rainfall that forced the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to start dumping billions of gallons of murky water into the Caloosahatchee River. Governor Scott is also calling on President Obama to fully fund the more than $800 million in needed repairs to the Hoover Dike, which holds Lake O's water. This comes just days after several Florida lawmakers invited Southwest Florida mayors to D.C. to about Lake Okeechobee pollution and hopefully get some help. Those mayors sitting down with Senator Bill Nelson and Congressman Curt Clawson this afternoon. 4 in Your Corner's Adam Pinsker has more on their plans to solve the pollution problem. Adam?
And Malcolm, it is quite a large problem and kind of confusing, so I'm going to break it down for you. Now, legislation will be introduced on the House and Senate floor on Monday that will lay the groundwork for long-term and short-term solutions to the brackish water that appears on Southwest Florida beaches after being released from Lake Okeechobee. In an era where Congress is bitterly divided, Republican Congressman Curt Clawson and Florida's senior senator, Democrat Bill Nelson, embracing as they team up with mayors from Sanibel to Clewiston in an effort to clean up polluted waters. The cause is excess water from Lake Okeechobee that has to be released when lake levels rise.
So I'm going to support this 100%, conservative or not. Does everybody understand that? Because this is what we're about.
The plan is costly and complicated. Rather than send overflow water from Lake O west to Fort Myers, the lawmakers want to send it south through the Everglades. But there is one barrier in its way, Tamiami Trail. Nelson says it will cost about $500 million to raise a 3-mile stretch of the road, but it must happen.
Raising the level of the water at Tamiami Trail a foot from 7.5 to 8.5 feet to get it under the bridge, then this is going to give some relief.
To make that a reality, Senator Nelson and Congressman Clawson are also fast-tracking legislation to build more dikes around Lake Okeechobee within 5 years. That allows for excess water to be stored rather than released into the Caloosahatchee.
We obviously want to see a water bill. We want to have more water hold up at the lake. We also want to have it hold more water north of the lake.
This entire project could take 15 years at the earliest. Senator Nelson is hoping some divine intervention will help in the meantime.
If the good Lord will spare us a lot of rain that is putting the pressure on the dike on Lake Okeechobee, plus releasing some water to the south that normally they would not release.
And Senator Nelson is also asking state legislators to tap into the acquisition fund, the land acquisition fund, so it can buy lands around the lake and designate them for release, water release. Congressman Clawson says if lawmakers don't act on this, Congress may do so on its own. In the studio, Adam Pinsker, Fox 4, in your corner.